Okay, this is going to be digitizing in a nutshell. So the first thing we need to do is create an empty data set to digitize into. So I usually recommend going to Catalog and then just right-clicking on the data folder that you want to put it in. Choose New, and you can't see that, but Shapefile. All right, so call it what you want. And I'm going to work on polygons. They're the most complicated to digitize technically. Make sure you use the edit button to get the right coordinate system in there. I'm working in Utah, so there you go. All right, now you need the Create Features window to open. So here's the empty data set. Nothing's been drawn in there yet. There's nothing in the attribute table. If the Create Features window doesn't open for you automatically, you can force it to open by using the editor toolbar, and if you don't have that open, you can right-click any place in a gray space and just choose Editor. Then drop down the main menu there, Editing Windows, Create Features isn't open because I need to be editing first. So right-click on your new data, Edit Features, Start Editing. I have got two different datums going on, WGS84 in the base map, and then NAT83 here, so that's what that was all about. So I'll try that again, drop this down, Editing Windows, Create Features. And this guy is where you get the tools to do the actual drawing, and that's why you need this window. It's a little clunky. So if you click on the data that you want to edit, it's going to open the Polygon Tools because that's the kind of data that this is. So if I click here, I can start creating my shapefile. It's going to kind of create a polygon as I go. So it may write over itself, but it's transparent, so you can usually see what you're doing. If you can't, you can adjust the transparency after you get the first thing drawn, or go in and do it ahead of time. Make sure you double click to finish that drawing, and you know that it's finished when you get the crazy turquoise color and the vertices go away. Now you can save your data, and you'll see that you have an attribute in the attribute table. I do recommend saving your work as you go, just because if anything happens and art crashes, this work won't be saved even if you save the project. So this save won't save this work. You have to actually go into the editor and save your edits this way, or Alt, capital S. The next thing you might want to know how to do is, let's go ahead and digitize this pond as well. Just kind of do it rather coarsely. Okay, so now I have two shapes, they're the same color, and in the attribute table I should have two records. So what we want to do now is start differentiating these, and whether you're doing lakes, ponds, oxbows, river, or different segments of river, you want to add an attribute field to this attribute table and give it a type. Now we can't do that while we're in an editing session. Add field is grayed out, so we're just going to stop editing. It's going to prompt us, yes, save the edits. Then I'm going to go back into the attribute table and add a field. We'll call it type. I will change this to text, but if you could leave it short integer, then you could just put in a numeric code for the different types of water feature. I'll make it text. Then we want to start editing again. And now if I highlight this one, I've got a corresponding highlighted one here, and I can just call that, I'm just clicking in here. This guy, I can click on the feature here, it highlights it in here, and I can call this pond. And in that way, I'd be able to establish some kind of description for each one of my, each one of my records. So if I go back to editing this and get my Create Features window open again, I don't want to edit scratch properties, I want to Create Features, Test, Polygon Tool. I can add on to this way. Maybe this is a different segment of river. Double click to finish my sketch, and now I should have a third record in here. let's see, what else do you need to know? That might be just about it. Remember to save your edits. Another trick that you can do, let's close these down a little bit, is let's say I just go ahead and edit a little bit more in here. Okay, so in the attribute table, let's say I want to kind of group assign these all some description. So I'm going to call all 3 of these river, and I don't want to go in and type that every time. I can use my selection tool, which is this guy, and I can select by using the shift key all the segments of river or all the features on my map that I want to call the same thing. And then using the field calculator, you can right click, and with the selection made, you can make type equals is already there, so I can just say river here. Maybe that doesn't work because it's a text. I maybe have to do a string field. Let me figure that out really quick. Yeah, sorry, that was the problem. You don't have to change anything up here, but when you do the type equals, you just have to, if it's text, put it in quotes, double quotes, like that, and then it will write the text in here. That's a shortcut, so they don't have to type it in every time. Okay, so that is it. Questions, let me know. Thanks.